If you're a generator in human design, you might find yourself creating amazing work. You are so here for mastery, but struggling to turn that expertise into something that feels consistent and predictable financially. Like, you know that you are capable of going really deep and building incredible things, but somehow that doesn't always translate to predictable revenue. So today we're going to change that. We're going to be talking about sales for generators and how to really leverage your natural ability to build depth and sustain energy and achieve mastery and to create a sales system that actually converts consistently. So I want to start by sharing how I approach sales, because it might be a little bit different to other coaches or maybe, advice that you have received about sales. I don't believe that sales is just a caption. It's not about selling every day. It's not about the Instagram stories that you post today or the email that you send to your email list. Like, all of those things are important, but it's just one part of sales. And if you don't want to sell every single day, not because you have blocks around it, but because it just doesn't feel that exciting to you, that's actually completely fine. Like, I don't want to sell every day, but you do need to make sure that you have an approach that makes this possible for you. And so what you want is more of an ecosystem approach to sales. And that's what the 4-step sales system that I use in my business and that I also teach clients is about. It's about creating a complete experience as it relates to sales that works even when you are not online, you're not actively selling. So the 4 steps in the sales system are magnetize, educate, close, and deliver. So we magnetize people to our content, and that is a conversation around, the marketing platforms that you were on, the style of content that you were creating. Then we educate them, right? This is always the step that is missing when I am working with clients. We want to make sure that we are very clearly educating them about what we do, how we can help them, the next steps that we want them to take in our business. Like, that is the most important part of a sales system. That is the work that you are doing to build your email list before a launch. That is the work that you are doing to nurture people, in preparation for them signing on for your, one-on-one coaching or whatever it is. Like that, this is the most important part of the sales system. And most people are just focused on just the caption, like the sales caption, but there's so much work that happens before them. Then we're closing the sales. That's a conversation on, are you selling in the DMs? Are you doing an application call, a discovery call, direct link to check out, like what is that? And then the 4th step is we're delivering an incredible experience. And so this ecosystem approach is how I'm able to have consistent recurring revenue while not selling every single day. In fact, there are periods where I am not selling either of my 2 signature programs for a period of 3 to 4 months straight. But you need to plan for that, right? You need this bigger ecosystem in place. By the way, if you want to start diving deeper into this 4-step framework, I have a mini course called Selling Soulfully. You can DM me Soul on Instagram. The link is also below, and I'll send that to you. But it goes through this 4-step system in a lot more depth, and it shows you how to personalize each of those 4 steps to your human design. So let's talk about the generator sales strategy. So for generators, you're here for mastery, right? You're here for mastery. You're here for depth. And so you want to show people the depth of your work as part of that magnetize and educate phase of the sales system. And for me, when I'm working with generator clients, that really starts by getting really clear on your core message and repeating it consistently. And I think this is easier said than done, because I think that there's a lot of manifesting generator entrepreneurs. And I think that also just with the pace of things, with Pluto moving into Aquarius and Uranus now in Gemini, like just the way that things are going, there is such a quickness to the way that we are consuming information. And I think for you as a generator, you really have to work hard at not being swayed by that. Like, there is so much, I think, comfort and such an exhale, to I think be around generators in business who are here for sustained effort and for mastery. But I think that is easier said than done, right? And so I think it really starts with getting comfortable with repeating, the same message over and over. And so in my business, one of the messages that I repeat constantly, it's pretty much the only message that I repeat constantly, is that your business can feel like an exhale. You can create a business that loves you back. And so no matter what specific piece of content I'm creating, whether it's mindset related or it's generators and sales, that message is woven through everything. And so as a generator, you have this natural ability to go deep and build expertise over time. And we want to use that repetition to start associating your brand with mastery in one specific area. People should hear your message and immediately think of you. So your content needs to start with that main core message and what you most feel excited about, right? Like your content is the start of a sales system, right? And you want people to feel your excitement about that core message, because when you are super lit up about that area of expertise, like that energy is so juicy. Like there is nothing better than watching a juicy sacral being be excited about whatever they're creating, right? And people can sense when you're creating from, genuine enthusiasm versus when you're just posting because you think that you should be posting about that particular thing, right? So as it relates to your sales system, this could look like having a live launch model, or it could be evergreen, right? Where something's available to buy all the time. But in either of those models, there's space for you to do a pop-up masterclass or a 2-week immersion based on what your sacral is responding to in the moment. So maybe you teach someone how to build a website, like maybe that's your mastery. But maybe you do a masterclass or a paid 2-week immersion that is specifically about building a really good opt-in page, for example. Then you can invite people into your bigger offer. So you're taking that expertise that, only you can have as a generator, and you are kind of moving it into these little bite-sized ways and experiences where people can start to experience that mastery. So you can apply this also to your lead magnets and educational content. Remember that second part of the sales system, the educate part? For those lead magnets and your educational content, you want to do the same thing, right? Like focus on showing the depth of your expertise in really bite-sized ways. You can create resources or, one core lead magnet that demonstrates that sort of sustained knowledge that you've built over time. Maybe it's a step-by-step implementation guide or some kind of interactive, workbook or something like that. For me in my business, when someone DMs us quiz, they get access to their energy guide for their design type, right? And so if you're a projector, you get the projector one, generators, you'll get the generator one. But what I actually do over the course of that email series is we actually deliver 4 other resources. So there's a masterclass, there's a strategy filter guide, there's an overview of energy centers, and then at the very end, there is a complete design guide for consistent conversion. So it's like a 20+ page, Google document about how to align your business strategies with your human design. Now, I am a manifesting generator. I'm not a generator, but I am Capricorn rising. I'm a line 1. I've got the channel of maturation. Like I'm an MG, but I am a very sort of focused MG. Like I am someone that really loves depth. So I find that strategy, even though I am a manifesting generator, I think is a very good generator strategy in that you are giving someone an experience where they are like, damn, like this person knows a lot about this topic, right? And that is the key thing for your sales system. Like we want to build a system that supports your mastery, like leverages your mastery, shows people why this is so valuable for them. So here are 3 things that you can do right now. Number 1, get clear on that core message and start repeating it consistently across all your content, because this is going to build association between your brand and your area of mastery and start to create safety in your nervous system around that. Even though everything's happening quickly and there might be manifesting generators that are pivoting every 5 seconds, that doesn't need to be true for you. Second, create educational content or a nurture funnel, even better, a lead magnet and a funnel that shows the depth of your expertise. People want to see that you've really mastered what you are teaching. And this is going to be a really beautiful way to then invite people into your body of work. Third, check in with your sacral before implementing any of this sales strategy. Like, take what resonates and leave the rest. If it doesn't light you up, don't force it. If you don't want to do sales calls, don't do sales calls. Do an application instead. Do a Loom video. That was something that I did for a number of years in my business, was people would apply to work with me one-on-one, and I'd send them like a Loom video of what I would like suggest for their business. And then if they wanted to, as well as like the details of what that investment would look like, and then they would let me know if they wanted to proceed or not. For some reason, during that period, I didn't want to do sales calls, right? And so if it doesn't light you up, don't force it. Find an approach that energizes you, that really fuels your life force, because as a generator, that's so key for you. And your ability to build depth and mastery over time is your greatest sales asset. And when you focus on one core message and you let people see the sustained expertise that you've developed, that's what creates consistent conversions. And as part of this human design series, there will be later episodes about your ideal business model where we will cover this in a little bit more detail. But you can also DM me quiz on Instagram at jazzjervis_, or grab the link below to start aligning your business model to your energy as a generator. Or you can DM me soul, or just grab the link below to start creating your own 4-step sales system aligned to your design. Trusting your sacral response and your methodical mastery is your greatest business asset when it comes to creating sustainable success and predictable recurring revenue as a generator.